How was your mom's trip?
It was so nice. I miss her. We had the best time.
I'm sad she was only here for a week. For some odd reason, I really thought she was here for a lot longer. Or she was going to be here for a lot longer.
I really wish she was. And we really had the best time. It was very chill. The house she rented was right across from where my sister lives. It was like an indoor-outdoor vibe.
Yeah.
Which I just love about like California homes.
You can have a little bit of both.
We really wanted to give her a taste of what life could be like here.
Do you think she'd ever move? I mean, she has her business, so I don't, you know.
I think eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Is
it kind of like my mom where like I need to have babies and then I can get her here?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
I think we'll see what happens.
Sam, why don't you get on it?
Yeah. But I think a change in her life will probably happen when some changes with us happens. And, in the past, she hasn't loved LA that much or the Venice area with how bad it was with the homeless. And
yeah, it has its moments, but it also has such great charm too.
Yeah. But it's cleaned up a lot.
Yeah.
And this was such a nice trip. She loved coming to the podcast and seeing this.
Well, she's welcome back anytime.
She met a bunch of our friends, went to the Dodger game. Yeah, it was great. Our cousins flew down from Santa Cruz, which was really nice. And the day my mom left, one of my best friends, Levin, came to town. So I've had a lot of visitors, and it's just really warmed my heart.
I love that. That sounds like a really sweet and wonderful week.
Yeah. Speaking of Levin, she wrote this book. Look how pretty she is.
Ooh. Oh, she's gorgeous.
I know. So she has been acting since she was 12 years old. She played twins on
She pulled a Lindsay Lohan?
Yes.
I'm assuming she's not a twin, so.
No, she's not.
Okay.
But she was in the Hunger Games and played a character named Glimmer and wrote a book about being in the Hunger Games and just
like her experience.
It's more of a memoir of her acting career.
Oh, cool.
And I'm so proud of her. And we're going to her newest movie premiere tomorrow.
Fun. Wait, what's that about?
It's a thriller. It's called The Last Night on Earth.
Ooh.
With Jake McLaughlin.
Tell her
and
congratulations.
Shane West, and I'm very excited to see it tomorrow.
Nice. Tell her congrats. I probably won't watch it because I don't like scary things, but I'm proud of her.
I don't either, but
even though I don't know her, but I'm proud of her.
Thank you. I will tell her.
Let her know.
I'm excited to see the movie because she filmed it 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And we were talking so much during filming that I'm just excited to see the movie.
Love that. Well, that's
I got all the BTS info.
Ooh, you got the behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. That's what that means if anyone doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Little film lingo for you all.
What's going on with you?
I love that your mom had a good time, and hopefully we can get Mama Cindy out here at some point. So,
hear that, Mom?
Living that Venice life. I'm good. Things are still crazy. But I'm out next week, so you're gonna have to have your own special guest next week to fill in. Oh my
gosh, it's already June.
I'm going to go to Barcelona for a week for Nick's birthday and his brother's birthday. They have dueling same-day birthdays.
Oh, my gosh.
4 years apart. Yeah, it's fun. So it's going to be a great time.
That's very cool.
It's like a family sibling trip plus some friends and, me. And so that'll be really lovely and a much-needed vacation.
Nice.
Just because things have been crazy. But overall, good. But I am learning that wedding planning is exhausting. And it's a full-time job. And I'm like, oh, Lord. So there was one moment where I joked. I was like, we're eloping. I don't actually mean it because I do want my friends. It's going to be a small, just like my closest friends and our family wedding, probably over in Italy, most likely. About 99%. I haven't booked it yet, but it's the only thing I've looked at is doing that. And so that's taken up a lot of brain power, but it's really lovely to turn the Dodger games on and just like numb out
it is now, not the past week.
Yeah, we had a 5-game losing streak and that wasn't very fun.
I don't think we've had a 5-game
since
losing
2019.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that wasn't super lovely. Wasn't stoked on that.
And honestly, they almost had game 1. They gave it to us, the Mets. So well, welcome back to Talk Dodgers to me.
Wait, guys. It's episode 10. We made it to double digits.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And shockingly, Adam has not murdered us or quit yet. So we're doing great, honestly.
How are you feeling about episode 10, Adam? You sick of us yet?
How are you feeling in general?
Yeah.
About this experience?
Having a blast.
You think he's being honest or sarcastic?
You can tell in his tone that he's just.
I think he really enjoys it.
So sentimental. You know, I do think there is a part of him that actually enjoys that he's, I don't know, having fun doing this. He loves baseball, so even though he may not love how much we love the Dodgers, I do think he enjoys the conversation at times.
Yeah. I don't think he would be here if he
but
didn't.
I think he enjoys being a curmudgeon more than he actually is a curmudgeon.
I agree. What do you think? Are we right about that?
Yeah.
No comment.
That answer is yes.
Mystery man in the back wants to stay that way.
He'll only give you little tiny centimeters every now and then. Mm-hmm. Or whatever is smaller than a centimeter.
Wonder what he's doing over there.
Millimeter?
Centimeter?
Is it millimeter, centimeter, inches?
The weirdest things come out of our mouths when we have a microphone. We've learned.
Oh, no one should ever have allowed me to have a microphone in front of my mouth.
It's fun.
It actually is fun. I have, since slight reflection, since we've started this, and now we're at 10 episodes
you don't ever move, and
Talk Dodgers to me. Crazy. But, episode 1 and 2, I mean, we're still, I think, learning our groove little by little. We learn new things each week. But I do think I was way more nervous in the beginning than I don't know, feel like I am now. And maybe it's just because this environment is easy and feels safe and doesn't, but.
Yeah, what are your takeaways from doing a podcast for 10 episodes? Have you learned anything about yourself or anything else?
Yeah, it's that podcasts are actually a lot of work, and they're not a fun little side gig thing that I kind of thought in my mind it would be. And just to give a shout out, Melissa essentially does everything, her and Adam. I feel like I'm low-hanging fruit at times because I pop in for these, and obviously,
I need someone to talk to.
It's true. I guess I feel a role. But no, I think it's a lot of work, and kudos to you for 1,000% taking all of that on and really championing it. And I think you're doing a great job. And so that's where, I think I was a little naive to what this process is, I think, going in.
Okay. Well, thank you for that.
I've learned a lot of that.
I couldn't thank Adam enough.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you.
You could thank me more.
In all sincerity.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
He's like, you could call me every day and say thank you, actually. That would...
Noted. It definitely is.
What have you learned? What are some things?
A lot of work. I think it's really interesting watching yourself have a conversation teaches you so much.
Yes, it does. You learn the words you say a million times.
I don't think there's a better way to learn about how you are socially and in conversation than watching yourself have one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm already pretty hard on myself to begin with.
So
I'm really recognizing habits that I have and, just things like that. Being more mindful of trying to let you finish a thought before I speak. And I think we're both aware that, if you don't say the thought right away, sometimes it goes away.
You just forget it.
So and also, when you're passionate about something, you want to say it right away. But when you're on a podcast, you don't want to hear people talk over each other. No. So just, being more mindful about things. Yeah. And I do find that translating into social settings where at times I would want to jump out. But, it's polite and nice to let someone finish what they're saying.
Absolutely. Well, I was gonna say absolutely, and that is something where, yes, watching yourself back, it shows you how you communicate, probably even just like in real life, if that's what we're doing on this, when it's something we've never done or practiced before, you're seeing it firsthand and you're like, you're cringing a bit. And it's like, well, wait, if I'm doing that here, I'm definitely doing that in other situations. And just like you said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be talking over people. I don't want to, just immediately throw in my comment because I will forget. It's never with like ill or bad intent. It's truly because you're excited or you're going to forget what you thought and you don't want to. And so it's like that short-term memory loss that comes in, but it teaches you a lot about how you communicate both in this setting and outside of the setting. And you're like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't want to be doing it here. And I definitely don't want to be doing it in my regular conversations either. So
So those are some initial takeaways.
Learnings. Yeah. But we made it to 10 episodes.
And
how cool is that?
Great. 10 weeks of doing this.
You know what? I'm proud of us.
It's been really cool to see people engage with what we're posting and our conversations.
Yeah.
That's been really cool.
Yeah, it's fun to have people, like I literally was just looking at our Instagram today and some of the comments, and I was like kind of reading through, because I don't always have time to read through everything, and so I'll go and every now and then I'll read through. And I was just like, that was a good point, actually. And some of them contradict what I said. And I was like, actually, you know what? Valid point. I'm like. And so
sports fans are very intense and are very opinionated.
Mm-hmm. Passionate people. Mm-hmm. We are passionate people.
Yes.
Sports fans.
Yes.
It's what at times makes us great and sometimes makes us terrible.
Mm-hmm. So thank you, listeners, for joining us on this ride. And now let's get back to the Dodgers.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us this far.
Okay, so we got swept by the Reds.
Yeah. That wasn't super fun. But then we swept the Mets.
Yep.
So
you know how cool. I posted about if we should boo our teams?
Mm-hmm.
I was really changing my own thought about that after the 5-game losing streak.
You wanted to boo them?
I did.
Oh.
Just because I felt like they weren't even trying.
See, I don't know if I don't think it's a boo for me. It's a more of like a, come on, guys. Like, what the hell? Like, get it together.
Yeah.
It's like constructive criticism versus booing, in my mind.
Yeah, I just was feeling really fed up in that moment. But
you didn't feel like they were...
I couldn't boo our boys. I just get upset when I feel like they're giving up. Like, towards the end of the games. But I do think that...
Go ahead.
They're getting better at that.
They are. Well, I was going to say, this kind of leads into the debate a little bit that you and I have of, I don't care if we're losing by 9. I refuse to leave a game early. I will stay at the game until the bitter end. Last out has to be recorded. Part of that is because, yes, I take score. But even when I don't, I want to be there for the entirety of the game. And to give context to this, Dodger Stadium, we've talked about it. It sucks to get in and out of. That's why I don't park in the stadium. Even if I'm given a free parking pass, I typically will park outside of the stadium just because it's easier to park outside, walk in, and then walk back out and not be stuck in the crazy traffic trying to get out of Chavez Ravine. Mm-hmm. And so I can understand why that might be your reasoning for leaving early. But, like, you'll leave a game early.
Yes.
Always? Or just, is there a way that you would stay?
I don't love crowds.
Okay.
I don't like being in a herd of people leaving the stadium at the same time. That's kind of my nightmare. So that's why I will leave a little bit early to avoid that. And also because we live pretty far from the stadium.
Yeah.
I don't want to get home at midnight. It's also, it depends on who I'm going with. When I'm with my mom and I don't want to have her walk 2 miles, I'm going to park at the stadium. Or not
a diehard sports fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And hence the Talk Dodgers to Me podcast coming about. I don't have too many baseball fans in my life, so, they usually don't care as much as me.
True. Insert me.
If it's
to go with you.
Amazing game, I will stay till the
That's
end.
what I was going to say.
So
what about a game that is...
depends.
I was going to say, what about a game that is going to, like,
Then I will
extra
stay.
innings or is a close game?
Of course I will stay. The one I
Yeah.
went to most recently with my mom, we were losing.
Okay.
We were going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So we left early.
Well, I guess
But early was like the bottom of the 8th.
Okay. Yeah, so you're not leaving in, like, the 6th or the 7th.
No, I would never.
I guess my only reasoning for why I would push against that is I've watched games, and this is like at home, and sometimes I've been at them, but I remember watching a game at home, and I can't remember for the life of me which game it was, and I've tried to look it up in the past, and I can't remember, but I was watching a game, and I was ready to go to sleep, and I legitimately, if I had turned it off, I would have missed the most epic comeback.
Was it the Chris Taylor home run?
I don't remember if it was that. I just remember we were down like 6 runs. 6 runs in the 9th.
Ooh.
I at least that's what I think. I swear. I have this memory. I could be wrong, and maybe it wasn't the
Now
9th.
I'm thinking that might be another game.
Maybe it wasn't the 9th, but we
Against
were
the
down
Padres.
bad, and it was late in the game. And it's kind of one of those things where you felt like there is no hope. We are not coming back from this. Like, turn the game off and go to sleep. Like, you need to go to bed. It's past your bedtime. Mm-hmm. My bedtime is like 10 p.m. So sometimes games go past 10 p.m. in LA. Mm-hmm. And most of them actually do. But I remember I watched it, and we came back and won the game, and I was shook. Like, had I missed it, I would have been so mad. And so I think that's how I am with physically being at a game. Like, turning a game off at my house doesn't regularly happen, because even though my bedtime, I say it's 10, I'm not always technically in bed by 10. And so I will usually finish the games out. But if I don't and I turn it off, or, you know, if there's a game on TV and it's an insane hour, like when we were in Seoul series, no, I'm sleeping. I'm not watching it. Mm-hmm. But if I'm physically going to the game, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving
Respect
before it's over.
And if something good happened and I had left, then I will definitely have that regret. But I think I just have a thing with crowds, and I've been there.
Yeah.
And it took me so long to physically get out of the stadium.
Yeah.
And that truly is my nightmare. Like, I don't love going to Disneyland. I don't like standing on long lines.
So don't invite you to big crowds. Granted, you had the Six Flags pass. Still trying to understand.
Oh my gosh, I forgot I had to tell you something where Six Flags was mentioned in Kershaw's book.
What?
Guys, I read a biography of Clayton Kershaw, which was amazing. It's a new biography written by Andy McCullough called The Last of His Kind.
Aww.
And nice. Kershaw was heavily involved and answered a lot of questions, but he did not write the book. I truly was listening to it. Like, I went on a walk, and then I looked at my phone, and I had walked like 15,000 steps because I couldn't stop listening to it. But guess where Kershaw took Ellen on the day that he proposed to her? Six Flags.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, he proposed at Six Flags, or he proposed before and then
they went to Six Flags, and they came back, and then he rented like a limo or something to take them to dinner.
Cute.
And said she had no idea that it was coming. Which she was like, come on, I took you to Six Flags. We took a limo to dinner.
They took a limo to dinner, and she wasn't at all remotely. Is that a regular thing in their life?
No.
Because, like, and that was before he was like Clayton Kershaw, because they've been together since they were like high school sweethearts, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I feel like there's got to be some giveaways there.
But when I heard him say Clayton Kershaw took Ellen to Six Flags, I'm like, I gotta tell everyone on the podcast. It's
full circle.
But that day that I had the season pass was because we went to like the horror nights.
Oh.
And it was just like
another thing I will never go to.
Oh. My friends took me so that they could laugh at me screaming every second.
Oh, yeah, see, that just sounds terrible. That tiny tangent is not entirely similar, but kind of. I agreed. This was our first year of dating. I agreed to go to Knoxberry Farms, like the Halloween version that they do, with our friends. Knowing full well I hate scary things. I hate it. I don't like to watch the movie. It's just not for me. Mm-hmm. And kid you not, the entire time that we were at the thing and everything we went through, I held on to Nick from the back. I was behind him, had my head down, my eyes closed, face like in the back of him. And he loved it because all of, obviously they know I'm scared. I'm bringing the attention to myself. Yeah. So people, they were like this close to my face, but I couldn't see them. So it wasn't scary. That I learned that that's the key. You just try this with a movie, actually. If you mute a scary movie, it's not really scary. Because it's the sound plus the picture together that just like freak the F out of you. But if you just listen to sound with no picture, it's also not that scary because you had nothing to anticipate. You didn't really know what was, like there was nothing to
I do that often. If I'm watching something with a little scariness, I'll mute it.
So it's interesting. So I tested out that theory when I was physically there. It worked. It helped. There was one moment where when we were out just like walking in the normal park area, but there's sometimes scary people that run around and try to scare you. There was a clown that did come up to me at one point, like way too close, and I couldn't close my eyes in time. And clown? I straight up like said some not nice words and almost like punched the dude in the face. And I was just like, I'm sorry. Like, this is just visceral reaction. Don't get near me. Don't try to scare me. And so, but yeah, I held on tightly, closed my eyes, and I was like, la 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 la. I was just
they must have been all over. You.
Nick
but
loved it.
They can't touch you.
They can't touch you, but Nick loved it because he was like, ooh, they're all close. I was like,
do you like scary things, Adam?
Never invite me to this again.
Yeah, sure. Fun fact about Allie.
What?
Visceral reactions. She has some of the same reactions when she's losing at board games.
Yes.
She punched me in the chest.
That's true.
What?
I punched you in the arm.
She punched me in the chest because I was beating her at Catan. Not just beating her, I beat her. So twice.
All right, not playing games with Allie.
Okay, look. I don't typically punch people. I hate losing. And I love board games. I'm not the best loser. There's like a quote that I read once, and it 1,000% is me, where it said, like, the worst person, like the worst side of me comes out playing board games. Like, I don't know who she is and she shouldn't be allowed in public. I was like, it me.
I feel the worst part of me comes out defending the Dodgers.
Well, one and the same we are.
I get so fired up.
Yeah.
Where did we leave off?
I'm a little bit more objective, I think, on that. Where did we leave off? Oh, it's
episode 10 and we're doing great.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Six Flags
swept by the Reds.
Yeah, we did that. We talked about, but we swept the Mets,
but there was a really nice moment with Dave Roberts and
Johan
Ramirez.
Yeah, he walked. Yeah,
when he went up to him,
that encouragement, and he got out of that inning.
Yeah, he went up to him and like really just, it was a one-on-one little pep talk. It looked like Ramirez was all flustered and he needed a moment to breathe. And I think what Dave Roberts is really good at, and I know they call him like the player's coach, I think he really knows what each individual player needs in a certain moment. Yeah. Whether it's tough love, motivation, little pep talk, I think he's good at gauging that.
Do you think,
or like staying away from a player if that's their vibe? Like he's very aware of like each player individually, and I think that was perfect because bases were loaded. He was in that jam, and after that pep talk, one pitch, inning was over.
Yeah, I think he knows how to read them. I guess. Do you think that is due to him being a former player?
Yes, and I think just as a person, he has a really like sensitive, emotional, empathetic side to him.
Yeah. I mean, I love Dave Roberts. I think he's just
he gets so much hate.
He does. But I think he's a great coach, and honestly, I think we're lucky to have him a lot of times.
How can anyone hate on Dave Roberts, who has taken us to the postseason every year he's been a coach?
Yeah. I mean, people want to win, but I don't know.
But like
Adam's laughing back there. What's your thought, Peanut Gallery?
I like Dave Roberts. But
you don't like him?
I do.
Oh.
I like Dave Roberts. But if someone were to say something bad about him, could be he hasn't won a real World Series yet?
Yes, he has.
He won. Yes, he has. And actually,
as a manager?
I was about to say, he definitely won.
Yes, he has.
And he has. As a manager. I know you like to say that it's not a real World Series, but
I'm not even having that conversation anymore.
It is. You all had the exact same chances we did, and we won. Like, I think
if you won, would you be saying that?
I think it's a stupid answer.
Watch all the highlights. Like, I think it was actually even harder to play with no fans, to be in COVID restrictions, to be away from your families. So I'm not even having that argument anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. We're never gonna agree with you on that one. So it's just what it is. But one thing that you did say that I wanted to bring up as a slight rebuttal from last episode.
Wait, before you say that, I do want to just say one thing about the last.
So, go for it.
Because it kind of combines with how my worst side comes out when I'm defending the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. I think the more I learn about baseball and how it works and how people tend to have the same complaints about the Dodgers, it's really intrigued me to understand it more. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of like that with everything. If I have a curiosity about something, I really want to learn everything about it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's led me to become a life coach and just who I am as a person. Like, I find people so interesting. Yeah. And there's so much, like, that just relates to baseball, to entertainment. Like, it just translates across everything.
It does.
Whenever you're talking to anybody about anything, you're meeting them at wherever they are in how they feel about themselves, in how happy they are in their lives, in their healing journey, wherever that may be. So that is behind everything they're saying. And I think knowing that has allowed me to not take things personally anymore. But also, even when I talk sports with people, I'm reminding myself to remember that, to not get so riled up.
Well, that's a good life lesson. You're learning, we're growing. I haven't punched anybody in a while. By the way, I only have punched Adam while playing.
That's going to be a clip. I'm just going to put that. I haven't punched anybody in a while.
But no, I mean, look, I'll get mean and all. Nick and I, we joke that we aren't dating when we play games, unless they're communal games. When we're great at communal games together. But when we're playing against each other, usually it's me who gets like mad and angry and because he's just so freaking good at times, and it just makes me want to strangle him. And I get mean, and my go-to is I just call him a whore. I don't know why. That's just the only thing that comes out. Don't know if that's kosher to say on the pod, but.
Or good to say about your fiance.
Or to say about my fiance, yeah, I guess. But, I just love him dearly, except for in those moments where I'm just like, stop it. But he loves my competitive spirit and nature. So part of it's like, maybe I'm endearing.
That's how I feel like sometimes when I have a random thought and I need to say it right away. I'm like, okay, is that charming because I'm just really passionate? Or is that just really annoying? But when I was driving here, I saw someone that looks like Nick.
Who?
Okay, who's the basketball player that is on all these ads with like Lemon Daddy?
I don't even know what Lemon Daddy is.
I think he's on the Lakers. I wish I remembered his name.
Austin Reeves.
Yeah, Austin Reeves. I think Nick looks like him a little bit.
I need a photo to know for sure.
Can you pull it up?
You don't think so?
I think a little
Adam's
bit.
like, meh.
Well, it was on the bus in front of me, and I'm like, oh my God, he kind of looks like Nick.
I don't know.
Anyway, so when Adam or whoever else is hating on the Dodgers, whatever they're saying is wherever their happiness is and however they tend to view things or research things and stuff like that. And so I did a lot of research on how market size plays in baseball.
Okay. Tell us what you've learned.
I think size doesn't matter as much as we think it does.
Wow.
Talk Dodgers to me.
We're really leaning in to... Oh, man.
And I will stand by that. And I think that specific point has bothered me so much because it's how I feel about
size
people.
Not matter?
Because I think it like kind of reflects on having a growth mindset or having a fixed mindset. And as a life coach, as a person who constantly wants to continue to get better and grow and learn, you have to find different ways to do things if you want any type of different results. And you can do the same things over and over again, or you can adjust and adapt and pivot and things like that. And I think that plays a role in that because, yes, I think it's easier with a bigger market. There's still plenty of opportunity to create a winning team and a winning culture and a great fan base with being creative, with creating experiences for fans, with creating opportunities for more people to get involved in the city and in the team. So I find it really frustrating when that's the go-to for everyone's point of just, well, it's a bigger market.
Well, okay, true, but I don't know if I completely agree. Only because you can do all of those things and get great fan involvement and, you know, have people coming to your games and loving your team, but it's not always, if you don't have the money, you fiscally do not have the cap that, or just the amount that some teams do, like our team. You can't necessarily afford.
But that's not all that our team has. We also have a really great...
I'm not saying it's all. I'm not saying that.
I think the management team is extremely important. And the different types of personalities.
You need money to be able to pay people to be there. And a lot of times you'll have great players come up in organizations that don't have as much money, but they can't retain them long term because they can't afford to keep them long term. And so they end up going somewhere else that can afford them. So like they're trying to build things up, but don't necessarily have the means to keep great players, even if they did steward them.
Well, that's where I believe that creativity and thinking differently and hiring people with different skill sets and assets can help in those situations and create different opportunities. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the premise of Moneyball, truly. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, which is what I do think teams do. Like,
it's easier when you have more money, but every owner of a team has money. So when they're getting mad at the Dodgers for spending money or doing whatever the Dodgers are doing, don't get mad at the Dodgers. Get mad at your own team for not spending money.
Yeah.
For not creating a culture and an organization that teams want to come to. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I agree with most of it.
I think a lot of it is opening your eyes and trying different things. Like, don't you think Oakland should be getting the whole city involved in what's happening right now? When my family came down, I asked them, because my cousin lived in Oakland and they live outside of Oakland now. Yeah. I asked them if they even knew what was going on, and they had no idea.
Yeah. Are they A's fans?
No, they're Giants fans. But just if word traveled, you know?
Well, I have friends who are A's fans, and they're deeply aware of what's going on. The problem is they just have a horrid owner.
Well, they probably care about baseball. I'm just saying, create the word of mouth so that everybody is hearing about it.
Yeah. I mean, but the Dodgers have massive name recognition.
Or maybe
they all don't know anything.
The teams should hire me for my ideas.
You know what? I think that's the answer. I think they should just hire.
I did think of a cool job that
guidance
I could do.
What is that job title?
Well, you know how I love like great stories and the connection, bringing fans to baseball.
Yeah.
Finding people to create those experiences for each team.
Oh. Fun. Like you take them to a game sort of a thing?
Yeah, like I was reading about the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah.
And they had a really awesome story about a 9-year-old kid who caught Andrew McCutcheon's 300th home run ball.
Fun.
And he caught the ball and gifted it back to Andrew.
Yeah.
And they didn't know anything about this fan, but learned his story afterwards. And he had been battling like leukemia since October 2021. And they invited him back. His whole family gave him an on-field experience. And then Andrew gifted him back the home run ball and also this whole plaque with his glove and a thing that Nike made him. And when he walked into the clubhouse, they had the locker all set up for him with a jersey that was made for him. How sweet is that?
Sweet. I love that is not the exact same, but kind of similar to the moment with the Albert, the pediatric kids on Shohei's day. And those are moments, or that will be something that they never forget, and that will be one of the best memories probably of their life, or at least within their baseball memories. That will be at the tippy top.
Yeah, and I just wonder, like, how do they find these people? How do they find these stories?
Yeah.
And I just thought,
like, maybe
that's
you
a really
help
cool
bring
job.
those stories. You help find those people and bring those stories. So, like, you work for an organization who, like, is able to do that.
My thoughts just go all over the place all the time.
Well, Dodgers, you should hire her on your events team.
Something I thought about that I would enjoy. Anyway.
You'd be great at that. But one thing that I do have a rebuttal on from last week.
All right.
Actually, I have a correction of last week of something I said too. But then also, I forget exactly what we were talking about, but we had mentioned having like how the guys just seem so happy, like they're having a great time in the atmosphere in the clubhouse, and how we only sign good guys. And by a good guys, I mean like they come off as good guys. We've definitely had dudes who've done some not great things, but I don't think that they were bad in the dugout or like in the clubhouse as far as like team players and stuff go. But we do have we have a few. But one that I'm thinking of top of mind is, good old Trevor Bauer. Ooh. We did have him, and we signed him because he's an incredible talent. But he came with...
You're right. He had a pretty bad reputation.
Not great reputation and bad press when we signed him. Like it's not like Urias, who we didn't know what was going on until we did, and then it's like, that's not
really
great,
wonder what the players think about that situation.
Bad. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to know. Was there ever anything that they were like, huh? And then when it came out, they were like, makes sense, or were they actually surprised and shocked by it? But with Bauer, I don't think anybody
they were taking a chance on him.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody heard the news about Bauer and was like, oh my god, I had no idea. And we won't get into the depth of that, because I think there's bad on both ends of that. Like
it's just such an actions, unfortunate
not
situation.
Good. Her also.
Yep.
Ew, not good. Yeah. Like she targeted him and he, went with it. And I'm just like, not great at all in my personal opinion. But he didn't have a stellar reputation joining the club.
You're right.
Like other players didn't like him. He wasn't really a clubhouse kind of a guy. Where you like actually wanted to go hang out with him, and he definitely would say a lot of things where you're just like, it doesn't sit
I feel
well.
like he said a lot of it like on Twitter and things like that, rather than like in the clubhouse with the guys. Because if Mookie is saying that he's a good guy, and if Kershaw is saying he's a good guy,
Kersh did say that. I knew Mookie did.
Mookie did. I don't know if Kersh said he was a good guy, but he talked fondly of him when he was on the team.
Then, I mean, maybe he was good in the clubhouse then. Who knows? I mean, we aren't there, so I can't say.
No, you're right. That is a surprising addition to the Dodgers. I was not thrilled with when it happened.
Yeah.
And I'm not thrilled that he was ever associated with our team.
And that he cost us a lot of money and we didn't actually.
And
get
it
to
sucks
use his
because
talent.
he's an extremely talented pitcher.
Yeah, completely agree.
So it sucks all around.
Yeah, it sucks that baseball fans don't get to watch him, play in the major leagues.
I
right
wonder
now anymore.
if now,
But it sucks because of what he was a part of that hurts that. But I don't know. I mean, I think Ron and I had this conversation at one point where, you think about no one's perfect, and that's a fact of life. But there are players in the past who think of the roids era, who took steroids but were beloved people. And most people are like, it's fine. Like, we'll give you, not it's fine, but like, we give them a second chance. We don't remember them as, oh, well, you just took steroids. It's like, think of Big Papi. You're like, we love Big Papi. It's Big Papi. He's great. It's fine. Like, we've forgiven. It's easier to forgive people you like.
Exactly.
But when somebody who you don't like as much, just because of how their reputation has been, no matter how great of a player they are, coming out of that, and then something happens, it's harder to want to redeem them. Which is, it's interesting.
It's very true.
Psychology sort of conversation.
I've noticed that too, especially with certain players who have or have not gone to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And it's really because
Absolutely.
it's chosen by people in baseball. It really does have to do with how well liked they are and their personality. Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if, specifically the Bauer situation, if that made the Dodgers find a bigger importance for the clubhouse culture than it already had, and why it's so talked about now. Maybe after, because I think Manny's great down, and not that I like to talk about the Padres all the time, but I think he's great in that clubhouse, and I do think he has taken on a leadership type of a role down there. That's not the version of Manny we got, and so I think from him and to Bauer, and even Puig at times, but I think Puig was liked. He was a wild card in every way, hence Wild Horse is a nickname. But I do think maybe they think about it a bit more when it comes to like making sure they maintain that, because we've been burned a few times. And so, There was a pretty good moment in the Mets series that I felt like, all right, we might have some edge. You know what it was?
I feel like maybe.
What?
I don't want to be wrong, so I just want you to tell me.
The Daniel Hudson moment.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
When game one.
Whew.
Not only did we have a double header, but the first game went into extras.
It did. Went into the 10th.
Jeff McNeil, who we've seen get frustrated a bunch of times now.
Yeah.
In that Hodgkin slide, remember? And
even today's game.
Oh, did you see him throw the bat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had it on.
Or was that yesterday? Today, one of their pitchers threw their glove into the stands and got ejected.
He got ejected.
But McNeil threw his bat. I think it was the end of one of the games yesterday.
Maybe it was yesterday's
but
game.
But he said...
it was the end of game one.
Yes.
Because the announcers were like, well, he's probably not going to use that bat in game two. And
he said that they were finding ways to lose, which I thought was a really perfect way to describe their season this year.
Yeah.
Because they had it. They really gave it to us I
feel bad
with how bad their defense
Mets
got.
Buddies. Well, and even in today's game.
Oh, my cousins gave up. They're not even watching the Mets anymore.
We were up 3-0 in even today's game, and then they tied it 3-3, and then we just
exploded.
Stole away the thing. I think, what was that what inning was that?
Will Smith is on fire.
I was working, so I don't remember every detail.
I'm very excited to go home and watch the highlights. I saw Will Smith has had 3 homers in 3 games.
In 2
Will games.
Smith, he is just...
My sister picked a great favorite player.
Look, he's... You know what I love about him? He's very unassuming.
I know.
He doesn't come off like he's going to be one of the best baseball players on your team at times, But then he is. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, okay, go ahead, little like white boy that I just don't expect to do what he does, but then he gets up there.
I wonder if
like,
that's that
brava.
His demeanor is part of why he does so well, because the pitcher, well, I guess now they know he's really good. But
yeah, I mean, but he's kind of been good since we brought him up.
Quietly good, quiet confidence.
Yeah.
That's such a great asset for a baseball player. But back to Hudson. So they scrambled things in the 8th inning, I think it was. And then Hudson came in the top of the 9th, got himself in a jam with bases loaded, got them out of it, and then walked off the mound, shushing the crowd.
Yeah.
And went into the dugout and said to the dugout, sometimes we got to remind people we're the Dodgers.
Yikes.
And Gavin Lux talked about that moment, just saying, like, the balls on him to do that at Citifield and walk into the dugout. I think that is the edge we're missing.
Well, you wanted him to get a little
thank
angry.
You, Daniel Hudson. And I'm such a fan of him
Maybe
in general.
Daniel listened to the podcast.
Daniel, thank you.
In our dreams.
Thank you for bringing the edge to the Dodgers. And I hope that you keep it up.
I hope so too, because we want more games like that. More games.
Well, the guys in the
win.
bullpen talk about how much it affected them when he was hurt, and what a career plagued with injuries he's had, especially last year. Remember, he had like 3 games and then like walked off the mound and tore his ACL.
Yeah, I hate it when players get hurt. Speaking of players getting hurt, did you see Acuna's out for the year? A complete ACL tear? Oof.
His second, different knee this time. That just is so unfortunate.
Even though
it's a rival
baseball.
of us, I don't want players to get injured.
I don't like players being injured because, one, you're not getting...
You're not
getting
bad for
the best of baseball.
You're right.
When great players aren't able to be out on the field, you're missing some of the best parts of baseball.
And after an MVP season,
I know,
probably his most anticipated season yet, and he's out for the entire year.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it.
It really sucks for him.
Yeah. Injuries are bitch.
So we hope you get better soon.
Yeah. Get back on the field. I don't know.
It's really tough.
I hope I never tear an ACL, but
however, I do think that they won the World Series the year that he tore his first ACL. Actually, I don't want to put that out into the world because I don't want them to win the World Series.
Yeah, like let's not go there.
But I'm pretty sure that's true. But anyway, that sucks for Acuna.
Yeah, it does. But
you know who's playing really well?
Who?
The Giants. They've won 10 of their 12 games, and I think that it's good for the Dodgers.
I think so too. I mean, well, to what your buddy Zach, who came on here, mentioned, we can't just run away with the division. We need some competition.
Did you agree with his thoughts about the Dodgers needing to struggle?
Yes, but with 5 games losing streak, there you go. Like
I was about to text him and be like, "You still feel like that?"
Like rude. Yeah, no, yes, not to a point to where they feel defeated and then like can't rise above it, but I don't want them to be too confident because I think that's what gets you in trouble. That's where laziness and complacency.
Well, I think they
in.
need the competition.
Yes.
So when they're sweeping the Giants, I don't think that's doing them any... great, we're winning games. That's wonderful. But I think especially when we're getting towards the end of the season, we need the competitiveness and we need to be on our A game so that we have that fire, we have that edge going into the postseason. So I think if they're playing great, good. Yeah. Good. Make us stay on our A game.
Yeah, to make us need to still be playing like really well so that we can win the division in the end. But to have that competition, to know that like, hey, we can't just coast.
Nope.
No coasting.
It doesn't do us any good.
No, coasting is not a thing. Great thing for us. You know what else isn't great?
What?
heights. So
What do you mean?
Look,
Heights?
okay, heights.
New Heights, like the Kelsey podcast?
No, that's fine.
I have no idea where you're going with this one.
No, I was watching Backstage Dodgers last night because, well, the games were both over. And then when the second game finished, Backstage Dodgers came on. It was great. And so I was getting caught up on that. And it was the episode which we were playing the Blue Jays in Toronto. So they did a lot of focusing on Teoscar because he obviously started there before he went to the Seattle Mariners and then down to us. And so I was watching that, and it was Joe Kelly and Ryan Yarbrough and Landon Knack, who they all went to the CN Tower to do the, like, hang over the death edge, essentially.
Oh my gosh.
I was watching that, having a visceral reaction. I legitimately, I was like, I couldn't look at certain points. I hate heights. We're learning everything I hate on
So you wouldn't
episode
do
10.
that?
Heights, horror, losing board games. I mean, what else? But yeah, no, I would not. No, you couldn't pay me. You could not pay me.
Do you like roller coasters?
Yeah, I don't mind that, but I'm like strapped in and I'm moving. To just like
so they're
go look
at the top
over
of the
edge
building
of something. I don't see why that sounds like no fun at all.
So they were like
They're strapped in,
okay,
like by one single rope.
That is
and
scary.
They like crawl and walk to the edge. There's no guardrails, no nothing, and you just lean out over with your feet on the edge and just like, wee, free fall. It was. And actually, Landon Knack he did way better than I would, but he was more my vibe, where he was like, I don't love this. I'm doing this out of peer pressure.
How'd Joe Kelly do?
Cool as a cucumber.
No.
Cool
I mean,
as a
that's
freaking
surprised,
cucumber. It doesn't surprise you, does it? I'm just like, no fear.
Wow.
None at all. And Ryan was at least like, he was pseudo in between. Like, he wasn't as weary as Landon was, but he was not nearly as like, wee, free falling as Joe Kelly.
Three different reactions.
Joe Kelly was like, yeah, no big deal. I was just like, what?
I don't know if I would do that or not. I think I have to see it. I probably would.
Well, watch the. I'm good.
What else did you learn about Teoscar?
Like my feet on land. Well, he actually really loved it up there with Toronto.
He did.
Yeah, it was, it's where he came up, and but he struggled a little bit, and so they ended up trading him, and that I think was really hard with him. He gets it; it's the business, it's baseball, but it still stings because you've got a lot of ties there and connections and relationships, and so I think it's been really sweet for him to now come to the Dodgers and be playing the way that he is and playing so well. Like, I think it's like rejuvenated his spirits for sure. And he was talking to one of the guys when they were like one of the coaches, I think, that he had worked with when he was up there. That's still with Toronto, and they had mentioned they were like, you made a good choice, and he was like, yeah, I think so. And so like, it was just
That's
cool.
awesome. What a great signing for us.
Right?
He gets overlooked because of, Shohei and Guaso and Yamamoto.
We have all these guys.
The consistency, how he's playing, how much fun he's having, starting our new home run tradition with the seeds.
I know. We love it. Throw those seeds.
Another guy who's all smiles.
I know. I like our team. I mean, yeah, biased, but I think we have a great team this year. And I really, both from a personality and, yes, obviously a talent,
It's
standpoint.
nice to see our resilience. I think this year, what I'm seeing differently than other years, I really felt like the past couple of seasons, if we were losing towards the end of the game, or if we went into extras, we rarely won in extras. And I felt like they would kind of just give up. And now we are winning in extras. And we came back and won that game against the Mets. So it's nice to see that.
Yeah, it's nice to see us not just do great in the first couple innings and then kind of like fall off and lose it in the end. it's nice to see them like rally.
Especially because we've talked about every team is going to play their best against us. So it's like we have to rise above even more.
Yeah.
And like match that intensity and then win on top of it. So
true.
Keep it up, boys.
Yeah. Oh, and I have a correction from last week for myself. Well,
Tell us.
I didn't really know the answer, I guess, last week. I've now since learned the answer. So the Hollywood sign that we talked about,
Yeah.
that used to be Hollywood Land, it was Hollywood Land because that was a housing development originally. And then when they essentially went under and failed due to Great Depression and those fun things, the city wanted to get rid of it, or like the Parks and Recreation wanted to get rid of
The whole sign?
the whole sign. And people were like, no, locals were not happy. They were like, we must keep it. They liked it. It was like a landmark.
Yeah.
And so they ended up getting rid of just the land because they just Hollywood worked out because it represented the
relevant.
city,
Okay.
Hollywood, and instead of the housing development. So that's the backstory.
I have another question on top of it that maybe we'll learn for next episode.
Great. Tell me.
When did the Hollywood sign land there to begin with?
I think I read this earlier. Was it 23?
And
Ooh.
yeah, like
I'm
who
gonna
put
just
it
tell
there?
you because
I'd be curious. That's something I
did
feel
look
like
this up.
someone who lives in LA should know.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. In 23, I was right. 1923.
Okay.
It was put up to advertise Hollywood Land real estate. So that's what it was there for. And then in 47 is when they wanted to tear it down. And then 49 is when they just like stripped the land and kept Hollywood. But it's crazy. Can you imagine Hollywood without the Hollywood sign?
I can't.
It's like a thing.
Thanks, real estate developers.
I know, right?
and some fun facts from Allie today.
Look, advertising even in the 20s was a thing. So, there you go.
And yeah, now it's such a landmark.
I know.
Tourist attraction.
I've hiked to it a few times back in the day. Now I kind of stay clear. Because, yeah, the tourist trap.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see it from pretty far away.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool.
I still think it's cool when I see it.
It is. It's huge. That's what's crazy is from far away, it looks like it's small. And then you get up behind it and you're like, this thing is massive.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it is
although
cool.
you can't actually go and touch it, you will get arrested.
Yeah.
I haven't
Me either.
been arrested for that specifically. But
You've been arrested for something else?
I know now.
we
I
won't talk about that.
You got arrested?
This is not going on the podcast.
Wow.
I was a teenager. I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I didn't do anything wrong. Promise.
That's what they all say.
Oh.
Really didn't. No.
I wonder what you did.
Well, we'll just leave that for the interpretation of people's minds.
Has
It's fine.
that contributed to why you
That's one of
like
my
to follow the rules now?
Maybe, yeah. That's one of my 2 truths and a lie, you know? I actually have some really good 2 truths and a lies for that game. When you
Ooh.
play it, people just never guess. It's great.
I would have never
Anyway.
thought that.
It's fine. It's fine. I really am a
I'm
goody
gonna need the
two-shoes.
story after the podcast.
Off the pod. I'll give you the details. It's not that exciting, but you know.
Next week's episode, we're interviewing the cop that arrested Allie Parker.
And I'm gonna go try and touch the Hollywood sign and see if I can get away with it.
Yeah, there you go. She'll get arrested for next episode. We'll call the Helena Police Department in Alabama for my record story. There you go.
Oh, I can't wait.
Perfect.
I can't wait to hear that.
Moving on, should we play a game?
In honor of our 10th episode, we thought it would be fun to play a game. And how fun was the game with my sister?
Oh my God, I died. I laughed so hard.
I can't wait for people to hear it.
I just want to ask her more ridiculous questions to see what else we get to come out of her mouth.
I know, I almost don't want her to learn any more about baseball.
I want her to learn nothing. Not a single thing, so she can come on here and we can just ask her things that are obvious to most baseball fans or sports fans or Dodger fans or whoever, just to see what she responds with.
It was great.
Her trying to say Tony Gonsolin's name when she could read it, I was dead.
By this time, our audience has already heard it, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed it in the moment. That was really fun.
That was a fun
and
episode.
I loved having my mom and sister here to just be a part of it, and you know, when I talk about it, they can like have the visual of where I sit and where I come to every week. So
the multitude,
I loved that.
The multitudes of people in the Peanut Gallery is a great time.
I know.
Personally,
Adam, do you get jealous
like a
that
mini
people are
audience.
back there with you,
No.
or do you enjoy it?
No.
No to everything.
He's a man of many
you know
words
what? Adam
today.
likes having the mini mic.
He does.
He does.
Look, it is literally attached to him.
We
right
can
now.
get some more, so you can keep yours and don't have to, you know, toss it around to everyone.
Where is the mini mic from? Is it in our camera gear? Just happens.
Nice.
Yeah. This is an unofficial Kennedy Marshall podcast.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, appreciate you, Frank.
On to the game.
On to our fun game. Hold on,
So-
I need my paper.
We thought it would be really fun to play a game, wrong paper, where we play Would You Rather.
Would you rather? Baseball edition.
Baseball edition. So it's Would You Rather blank or get a home run hug from Albert Pujols.
Meaning you actually yourself hit a home run.
So we're in an imaginary world
Yeah.
where we're on the Dodgers and we're a player. So it's either you're hitting a home run and then getting a hug from Albert, or
one of these other things.
because how much fun was it when we had Albert?
He was a good time. Mm-hmm. He was like, you know, big daddy teddy bear.
I know, so sweet.
Indeed. Okay, so
You want to just switch on and off reading them, and then we'll answer.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, first one.
Start
Would
us
you rather eat at Nobu with Shohei Ohtani or hit a home run and get a hug from Albert?
Just so you know, Nobu is a really hot restaurant that's really hard to get into.
It's a bougie sushi
very
restaurant.
bougie on the water in Malibu. Actually, Shohei and Yamamoto went there and ate with the chef. So it's a destination when you come to LA.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Oh, I think.
I hope Shohei's paying for that dinner, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in there. Okay. So
Well, I mean, I have my answer for this.
eat at Nobu with Shohei. Yeah, I think I'm gonna eat at Nobu with Shohei.
Food always wins out for me. Easy answer. Give me the food. Give me the chats with the baseball player. Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Nobu
paying.
How are you going to
over
speak to him if
Albert.
his
He's paying.
interpreter's not there?
Well, his new interpreter who
Oh,
does not
right,
steal
right,
money.
right.
And
Got it.
I'd like to invite Albert to the Nobu dinner.
I don't think that was a part of the game.
we made the game.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
Okay.
You can't do
I'm
that.
choosing the dinner also.
I'm choosing dinner with Shohei, and yes, look.
What would you pick, Adam?
He
You
can
can
speak
answer
a
too.
little bit of English.
Actually, he speaks he's
He's
very
not
good
completely
English.
inept. Okay, he can kind of communicate, and also yes, his new kind translator will be there.
I like Melissa's growth mindset of having Albert at the dinner, too. Just make it a really big...
Thanks, Adam.
At that point, just bring the whole team.
Okay, learn to throw a javelin with Yamamoto or home run hug from Albert. I think I'm doing the home
I think
run
I'm
hug.
going home run only because I just what do I do with learning how to throw a javelin?
You get to say
Like
that you
I
can.
have that skill, I guess, but like how often am I gonna actually use that skill of throwing a javelin?
Good point.
I think it'd be cooler to have said I hit a home run and got a hug from Albert. You know?
Okay, so we're both on the home
I
run
think we're
hug.
both
with
on
one.
that team. I mean, it's cool. Love to do both, but like if I have to pick one, yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
going to cut this part out. That one, does Yamamoto throw javelins?
Yes. That's part of
That was part of
his
his training.
routine of training for pitching. He throws a javelin,
Okay.
and he's known for that.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Wow.
if people know this.
We are teaching Adam something. We're not editing that out.
Okay.
Or we can.
Telling the one who edits the
just,
episode.
Yeah.
So are you going to throw the javelin? Or are you going to get the home run hug, Adam?
Yeah, we want your answers,
If I'm
too.
going to dinner with Albert at Nobu, I will get a hug from him there. I will throw the javelin with Yamamoto. Because then I can go back in time and, be a
But
part
you
of
would
the
have never hit a
300
home
Spartans and, whatever.
We're just going to combine all of these.
But you never hit a home run, though. Then.
I can't do that.
In this
Not
fake,
with that thinking.
fictitious, imaginary world, you can. If we
Can't take it too
you
far.
can.
All right, next. Be on Mookie Betts' podcast or home run hug from Albert?
Be on Mookie Betts' podcast.
Me
I get
too.
to chat with him for like an hour. That sounds like a blast. I'm a
And that- you know
I'm
what?
a quality time kind of girl, you know?
That one sounds like maybe it will be the opposite of us talking to him, but that seems more in reach.
Well, yes. If one of those is a real possibility that we physically can do if he knew us and were
Like,
to
this
invite
doesn't
us.
seem as imaginary.
Well, yes, because hitting a home run is 1,000% imaginary. That's
Well,
what I mean.
do think
One of
that
those-
I will
one is
interview
completely
Mookie one day.
impossible.
So
One is completely impossible, and one is
nothing
not.
is impossible.
It is impossible for me to
To
hit
be a
home
major
run.
league player? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, I guess
Yeah,
I can concede
for
on that
multiple
one.
reasons for us, Melissa. Multiple.
It's hard for me to say a hard no to anything. Because there's always a way.
I'll say it for you.
Melissa-
It's a hard no.
It's Melissa's like, I will
Still
be the first
not on base with that.
female Major League Baseball
You
player
know. You never know.
who just so happened to become a major leaguer in my 30s.
You never know. Anyway, moving on.
Okay. Would you rather have a baseball player give you his number on a ball or get a home run hug from Albert and a home run?
Baseball player give me a ball with his number.
There you go. I would hope you would say that. Mm-hmm. You want the Tyler treatment.
Yes.
I'm gonna say I would rather the hug from Albert and the home run. Mm-hmm. Mainly because I'm very happy with my situation and I'm okay. If they want to be friends, sure. But I don't
throwing you the
I don't
ball with
think
their number
anyone's
to be friends.
Well, look, maybe if Kershaw threw me a ball and said like, we'll get together with our spouses.
That is really the dream.
Like we'll get together with our spouses and have dinner. Then okay, yeah, I'm so game. But if it's for the pretense of which, and I think you're meaning on this, then I'm good.
I would be Kershaw's friend,
okay.
though.
Yeah, look, I'd love to be Kershaw's friend.
What about you, Adam?
You know,
Would you rather a player give you a ball with their number or a home run hug?
Is this an imaginary world where women are Major League Baseball players?
No.
yeah, Melissa's made the team, and no,
They're hitting home runs and making millions of dollars. Then yes, I'll happily take a ball from a Major League Baseball player.
Oh, it's so good.
Wow, great. Okay, moving on. Take BP with the Dodgers, batting practice, or get a home run hug from Albert.
I think I gotta. Good, well, once again, this is where we're starting to
Well, you know what?
unravel.
Taking the BP with the Dodgers would help us be able to hit a home run
I know.
and get the Albert hug.
I know, that's where I was like, well, if you are hitting the home run to get the Albert hug, then technically you probably did take BP. So
I hope people listening are
where
also
it's starting
answering
to
it.
really unravel for us here at the seams. It's
I really enjoy these worlds.
but
that
I think
I'm imagining
think
right now.
doing BP would be ffun. I can't tell you how many balls I could hit.
That one
Probably
feels
none.
kind of in reach also. Like it could happen.
Yeah, they'd have to be really kind, just like my soon-to-be father-in-law, and just throw
You've kind of done it.
softer. I have. Well, he was a Dodger at one point. It's not the Dodgers currently as they are, but in a way, you could say I've done this.
You have hit a ball off of a former Dodger.
I have.
That is very cool.
Okay, that's fun. Well, in a minute when we talk about meeting people we've met, there's one of my answers, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, we are.
Great. Okay, next.
Okay. Would you rather have dugout seats to a World Series game? Or hit a home run?
Please.
Yeah, I was like, I don't even need to finish the statement. I want dugout seats.
It's hard to say no to Albert Pujols, but the dugout seats for
like
a World Series game.
I need like one home run and a hug from Albert, and then everything else just
maybe Albert's also at the game, so we can get the hug. Great.
So we're once again just going yes and.
Sitting in the front row with Albert Pujols
Maybe
at a
Albert's
World
also
Series game, eating Nobu.
He's in the seat next to us.
Shohei
He's
hits a home
retired
run,
at this
and then
point.
you hug Albert.
Yeah, he's retired, so right now he's just sitting next to us.
We're creating a whole big party where we're eating at Nobu. Then we're going to go to the game, have dugout seats. Albert's going to be next to us.
Get a ball thrown to you with a number on it.
And they're asking us to go in the game, and then we hit a home run.
And the next game we do BP. You know.
Oh, I want to live in this world.
This is a great world. This is a
And
great.
we're not even done yet.
This is a great fantasy. Okay, hit me with the others.
Because we're doing 10 for our 10th episode. 10th episode.
10 would you rather.
Okay, next is, would you rather throw the first pitch at a Dodger game or get a home run hug from Albert?
I think that's where I would choose the home run, hitting a home run and getting a hug, because that's cooler than throwing the first pitch, in my mind.
Well, if we're hitting the home run, it means we are on the team.
Yeah, once again,
and we're
so
playing. So we have thrown the ball around on the field a lot.
Exactly. But first pitch is, once again, it's more realistic.
I'm going with a home run hug.
Nice. This probably should have just been a hug from Albert Pujols or these other things, but the problem with that then is that most all the other ones went out. No offense, Albert, you're great, but like all these other ones are much more enticing to me than just a hug from you.
That's why we had to add the other layer.
I know, but the other layer is controversial. Okay, hit us with the other ones.
Next is a life coaching session with Jay Hay or a home run hug with Albert from Albert.
I feel like I could go either way with that. I mean, I think hanging out and talking to Jay Hay would be cool.
One-on-one with Jay Hay
would be pretty awesome.
Really cool. So I'm gonna pick that.
I think I'll pick that just because at this point I have 2 home run hugs now, and so I don't want to be too greedy. I feel like I should take the life coach test with Jay Hay.
Okay.
So
Adam.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think he inspired the entire Cubs team to win the 2016 World Series. So
you have even more.
He's got a bigger
to
connection to Jay
get
Hay.
to talk to him. That totally valid.
Great. And next. Oh. Go to Kershaw's ping pong challenge and be his partner.
Yep, done. Answer. That's the answer.
Or the home run hug.
Nope. First one. Ping pong all day, baby.
We better be ready for that game because Kershaw's really good and he does not like to lose. But learning from you and about your competitiveness, he's got to watch out. You might punch him.
No, if he's on my team, it's punching the other people.
What if he doesn't hit? What if he misses the ball? Would you punch him?
Not in his good arm. He's a lefty, so I'd punch him in the right arm instead.
All right, our last one.
Terrible.
We would never punch you.
I don't punch people regularly, I promise.
It's so funny, like what becomes the thing we come back to in each episode.
Lordy.
All right, our last one is being in the booth.
I have to choose that.
I was gonna add another layer of make believe and say Vince Scully was in the booth, but should we?
No, I think we've extended.
I would still love to hang out with Joe Davis, and I've actually met Oral Hershiser.
Joe, that'd be a great time.
He let me wear
his radio
ring.
dudes. Give me my buddy Charlie and Rick Monday. Like, I'm fine with this. I don't.
So sit in the booth for the whole game, or get the home run hug from Albert.
Yeah, and you get to add in a little commentary every now and then. drop a few anecdotes here and there, little fun nuggets of little fun facts.
I love it.
You get to chime in here or there. I think that'd be a good time. I think that one for sure.
One time I called into Dodger Talk and I wanted to win free tickets. And they had the callers pretend they were calling the game.
Oh, yeah, no.
When Freddie Freeman hit a grand slam.
Oh, cool.
So I pretended to be calling the game and get all excited about Freddie Freeman's grand slam. How did you do? I actually was the runner-up for the free tickets.
Well done,
I really
Melissa.
thought I had it. But
bravo.
One guy beat me out.
Damn him.
But I tried.
Look, no one can ever say that you don't at least give it your best shot. And
they cannot.
I commend you for that. Because, yeah, I don't know if I would be so bold. Only because I majored in like broadcast journalism. And I did kind of call. Yeah, I was going different routes before I fell into the film industry. And I had to actually call a soccer game once. They asked me if I would, and I was like, sure, why not? And I did. It is much harder than it looks, especially when you don't know all the lingo of soccer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Football. Yeah, I got by. Thankfully, it was just like it was a college game.
It really is
not
a
very
talent.
big school, and it is. I was just like, the way that they have to they are.
Well, especially if you're like randomly thrown in to call a game rather than like knowing all the players and having a bit of knowledge about each one to, share the stories that are why people really like listening to the games.
Like you get a sheet, but you have to be so quick-witted. You have to have stories galore coming out the wazoo. And there is just a cadence. There's both, and there is a voice that an announcer has for both like radio and TV. Like there's a voice, and that's where like I think Charlie and I have talked about this before, where his voice was made to be on radio.
Allie's talking about Charlie Steiner, who she knows has his number, and they text.
He's my buddy, and I want him to get well soon and get back in the booth. But yeah, so it's just it's like second nature to them. Mm-hmm. But
I'm sure it wasn't at first.
No, definitely not at first. But like now for Charlie, it's a very second nature thing, and it comes very natural to him. But it's just incredible because you're right. Like it's the stories that they tell you in between pitches and in between innings, and they just have a way of you're engaged the entire time. And it's kind of like it's what we hope to do with movies. Obviously, is that you're never taken out of it, and you're in it for the entire hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever long the movie is. Same thing with the game. These guys are storytellers. They are narrators of what you are embarking on for those 3 hours.
I wonder how they go about getting all those stories. Like, do they walk to the field when the guys are in BP and talk to them and just kind of ask them questions here and there? I wonder. Or when they're eating, like sitting down, they go and sit with them and ask them some questions.
I'll have to ask Charlie sometime.
Yeah. Ask him for me.
Be like, bud, where do you come up with this?
But that is very cool that you're on a texting basis with Charlie.
Yeah.
One time, Oral Hershiser let me wear his World Series ring.
That's fun.
He came into Spago when I was working there. And I've met quite a few athletes when I worked there. It was very cool. But he was the nicest guy. The nicest, most genuine, happy to talk to you, sweet.
Yeah.
And he said hi to everybody. The chefs in the back are obsessed with the Dodgers. And so they came out, and he let me wear his ring. We took a picture. I'll put it on our Instagram.
Yes, you should.
And that was another moment that made me an even bigger Dodger fan than I was already.
Yeah.
And I've never
forgotten
that
interactive moment that you had.
And that he actually cared.
Yeah.
Like to just have a moment with the fan, all the employees.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, it's nice when someone comes off a certain way and then you meet them and they actually are that way in person. Because he seems like just a great, fun-loving kind of dude.
Doesn't he?
And I'm happy to hear that he actually is the same in an actual person. So
yeah, exceeded my expectations.
I love
it. It was
that.
really awesome.
That's fun. I feel like I had another meeting someone story, but now I can't remember.
Well, let's leave them with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Because I got a couple more.
To be continued.
Yeah, that we can share next time.
Because we're running out of time. And Adam is like,
get me home.
Shut up.
So, 10 episodes. Thanks for sticking with us, and a lot more to come.
Thank you all for, spending these hours with us. 10 hours. You've spent, actually, they could technically go over an hour. So you've spent probably like 12, 13 hours.
Thanks for listening.
Listen to them all at this point.
Go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.